Un momento, por favor. We will get this party started. How's everybody doing? I'll say my introductions here in just 1 second. Da 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 da. If you're already here, please smash that like button. Let's get us out in the algorithm. Oh, I meant to change the format into like the horizontal one, so see if we can change it up and get more people to watch these videos. But it's all right. We'll figure it out next time. There's always the next time right here, right? We do this almost daily at this point. We do some kind of live stream. Anyhow, hope everybody's doing okay. All right, here we go. Boom. Now I can be in the chat. All right. What's up, everybody? How you doing? My name is Randall. This is the Punk Rock Review, and on this video, we are going to discuss... I was going to say the 10, but it's going to end up being more than 10. The most anticipated punk rock albums coming in 2026, right? First, before we even get started, I want to shout out the social media... I don't know what to call it because it's not really a website. It's like an account called 23 Punk. I saw this on their page. I looked at it and thought that would make a good conversation. And there's other bands outside of the ones on this list that I want to talk about, but they're the catalyst to this list, and I used a portion of their image as my thumbnail. So that is where that came from. I'm not trying to be weird about it. I'm giving them as much credit as I can because that is an account that I follow diligently and I get a lot of information from them. So as a matter of fact, before we even go any further, let me link their Facebook page in the description of this live stream. So if you want to check them out, I urge you to do so. They're a good source for just information on punk bands and just everything, man. It's a good social media outlet. Let's see, check out. Oh crap, 23 Punk, right here. Boom. So shout out 23 Punk. Thank you guys for what you do. I appreciate it. I do a lot of work, and I think they do it just as much. So I think it's I am not in the same exact arena as they are, but I'm in a similar one. Knowing that makes me want to appreciate what they're doing. So again, shout out 23 Punk. If you're here, man, say what's up in the comments. We're a live stream, so if you're watching this post the live stream, what's up? How you doing? Welcome. I urge you guys to comment as well. Let me know what albums you're looking forward to this year. So I'm going to go ahead and show you their screen. Well, that's not their screen, is it? That's my screen. This is their screen. Okay. So here is the post that they made. And I'll just read off of their post since I'm trying to give them the credit anyways. So this was basically something that they came up with. And I was going to do a much smaller list. And they had like 3 times the amount of releases that I knew about. I had a few that I knew about. So I'm excited to do this. Borrowing their hard work. I guess I'd be a little surprised if they were like super mad about it. But who knows? Maybe not. Maybe they'll just be like, screw this guy. He sucks. There's a possibility. I've heard that before in my comment sections. Yeah. Last thing, it is the new year. We've got a lot of stuff going on. If you want to support this channel, what we're doing, please consider checking out my Patreon. It's linked in the description below. We got monthly giveaways. I'm about to do one for January here any day now, probably in the next 24, 48 hours. We've got an exclusive Discord. I'm starting to do early release videos. So all the podcasts I do and interviews that I do are going to get put up on Patreon a day or two before they come on YouTube. There's also no ads on Patreon, which is nice. Like I said, exclusive Discord giveaways and occasionally exclusive content. So if you so choose to do that, thank you very much. If not, no worries. You can support the channel however you want. And I'm just glad you're here. So thank you. But yeah, it is. I hate having to even talk about it, to be honest. Oh well. And we move on. Okay, so I got to do this too, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I know I have a couple of releases dropping this year. So let me talk about my label, 31 Records. Again, if you want to just check it out, listen to some music, linked in the description, my Bandcamp. We've got new music from Bullshit Detector coming out soon. We've got their 12-inch collection of songs that was supposed to come out at the end of last year. It's almost here. Any day now I'll have them in my hands. But they have a new LP on the way. Get excited, folks, because this is, I guarantee you this will be on my top 10 of the year list. Without even hearing the rest of the stuff coming out, this album is fantastic. We've also got a split from 2 Houston bands coming out on vinyl It's going to be The Lonesome Haunts. It's like Gaslight Anthem meets Lucero, and Valhalla Cinema doing an EP on each side, right? Valhalla Cinema is more like a hardcore punk band, early hardcore punk. Think like I don't even know what to compare them to because their stuff is so diverse. But I played a song called Fuchsia Bricks on the channel last night, and I think I put up a video as well. Check that song out. That's coming on the new release. And then Houston's Poppers, a band that I've been with for a long time. They've been with me for a long time. They've got their second full length coming out, and we're doing it on vinyl as well. So those songs will be available to hear pretty soon. So just stay tuned if you're interested. I'm incredibly excited for all three of those. We've got more stuff coming, but those are the ones that are like concrete, nailed down. They're done. So yeah, those would be at the top of my list as far as stuff I'm excited for because I got something to do with them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we got a bunch of big bands putting on music this year. I'm a little excited. I mean, I'm a little surprised by some of them. So the post that 23 Punk put up says 2026 is shaping up to be a big year for punk rock, with several veteran acts and newer names preparing for long-awaited releases. From comeback albums to long-in-the-works projects, these 10 bands are expected to deliver new music over the coming year. At the very top of their list is Social Distortion. It says, with Mike Ness confirming that the band's next studio album is officially on the way. The release will mark their first full-length in 15 years, making it one of the most anticipated punk rock records of the decade. Mike Ness has also assured fans that the album's first single is set to be released in January. So expect a new Social Distortion song any day now. I gotta say, if it was, hey, can you play some old Social D songs? I've heard those songs so many times that, yeah, I'll play them and listen to them. But my excitement level has definitely increased dramatically knowing that I get a new song soon. I'm interested to see what they pump out. Look, Social Distortion is a legendary band. I got into a conversation, we'll say, with my friend Chris about Social Distortion, and I just kind of like off the cuff was like, yeah, I don't even really consider them a punk band. He was like, what? And I was like, yeah, man, everything that I heard, like my first 10 years with that band, it was all associated with like rockabilly bands, and like, yeah, their sound was heavier than that a little bit, but I still just associated them with like rockabilly acts, which in their first few albums are definitely punk albums. So it was just because I didn't hear those until much later on. But yeah, Social Distortion is one of the original punk bands. So I also just liked having hot takes. I'm very very dumb. I don't know what my deal is. You tell me. What do you think my deal is? Next up, we got Descendants. Descendants are also deep into album mode. Yes, bro. Both Milo Aukerman and Bill Stevenson have confirmed that the band already has a record well underway with the goal of releasing it in 2026. While details remain scarce, fans can expect new material from the influential punk veterans after years of touring and sporadic releases. Boy, I tell you, this might be my most excited one. There's a couple on here that I'm real pumped about, but the Descendants might be my biggest, like, what's going on? Outside of my own releases on my label, right? Outside of doing stuff for my own label, I think Descendants might be the one for me. They've actually posted 2 things since I saw this post that I'll get to in just a minute. There's another couple of bands that at least one more that I'm very excited about, one that's intriguing. Below the Descendants, we've got the Interrupters. It's the Interrupters have a polarizing. They are polarizing. People either love them or hate them. I personally really enjoy their music, and they're very popular. So I'm curious as to what they're going to bring us, because their last album was I'd say a pretty stiff departure from the previous 3. Their 4th record sounded almost nothing like the Interrupters in my opinion, but it was very good. Like there was a couple of songs that kind of harkened back to the days of old, you'll say, right? But it was a good record. I don't think it was as good as their first 3, but it was very good. Like if you just isolate that record and go, is this album good? Yes, it was very good. The Interrupters have been sharing studio updates and have openly discussed working on a new album. Although there has been no official announcement yet, all signs point to a new ska punk. To new ska punk material arriving in 2026. So I wonder if it's going to be on Hellcat, and I wonder how much Tim Armstrong has to do with it. Because if it's on Hellcat and Tim Armstrong has, some producing credits coming on, it'll probably have some similarities to their earlier material. I actually don't know the response to their latest album, And it's been a few years now, hasn't it? I think it was, 23 maybe? 2023? Raised by Wolves. What was the response to that album? Was it popular? I know I liked it, but I didn't really like listen to reviews on it or read reviews or anything, so I don't actually know. But I'd be curious as to what the response was to that album in, contrast to their first 3 records. I wonder if that would have anything to do with the music they're creating now. Who knows? But I'm very excited to see that. Hear that record from them. I hope they do a tour and come to Texas. I'd like to take my family out to see them. My wife and my daughter both very much love the Interrupters. So one of my favorite shirts that I own is an Interrupter shirt. It's so comfortable, and it's also the first time I took my wife to a big show. Yeah, it was dope. So next up, we've got New Found Glory. Hadn't heard this name in a long time. New Found Glory will kick things off early in the year with Listen Up, set for release on February 20th. The album continues the band's long-running streak of energetic, hook-driven pop-punk releases. I don't consider New Found Glory like a punk rock band. They're punk adjacent, so whatever. This is, it's just I've been told that my definition of punk is very narrow, so let's just start with that. They're like easy core stuff. They're barely punk. I feel like they're more of a hardcore band than they are a punk band. Like popcore. Easy core, right? That's what it is. Whatever though. I like Chad. I like that whole band's pretty decent. Out of all the bands that have that kind of vocals, that's the one that I like the best, because I feel like all the other bands are just trying to do New Found Glory. But February 20th, that's only a month and a half away. Expect the record review. New Found Glory, man, that's interesting. I haven't listened to them in a while. Maybe I should pop in a New Found Glory record. Let's see. This week we're covering The Offspring, Adolescence, Mighty Mighty Bosstones, Nightbirds, TSOL, Necros, Negative Approach, and Dix. So I got a lot of listening to do after this. But a new album from some of these bands would be a good time. Next up is one that I'm very excited about, The Casualties. They've completed recording their new album, and they have signed with Hellcat Records. Let's go! The label founded by Rancid's Tim Armstrong, as we all know. The band has confirmed that the album will be released in 2026, marking their first full-length under the Hellcat banner. I just talked to David about this recently. I don't think I can say what he told me, but there might be some pretty cool news coming to the channel soon, so just keep your ear to the ground, and we'll see what we got for you. Regardless, as they drop singles and get the record out, I will be covering it. I'm a big fan of The Casualties. I'm a very big fan of David Tejas. I'm a big fan of that whole band. As you all know, I'm a very big fan of Hellcat Records and Tim Armstrong, Rancid, all that stuff. So, yeah, Casualties, man. That's going to be exciting. Anybody talking yet? Anybody in the chat? Hey, what's up, Corey? Dissolver, what's up, G? Let's see. My man said, I'm the hardest working man in punk rock. Bro, thank you, my dog. I don't know if I would agree with that, but I do say I work pretty hard. That show will smell like Geritol and Vapor Rub. Wait, which one? The freaking Social D one? Chris Mess, what's up, dude? I love most of the older legacy punk bands. They shaped my youth, but honestly, I don't look forward to any new albums by them. 99% of the time, it just feels like going through the motions. And I think that most of them have earned the right to do that if they want. But if you ask them how they feel about their albums, I guarantee you that their records are important to them. As an example, I'll point to Rancid. Their last 3 albums rank very high. Well, the last 2 specifically. The one before that is really good, but it doesn't rank quite as high. But Troublemaker is one of my favorite Rancid albums, one of my favorite records, and it's their second to the most latest. But I understand what you're saying. I do look forward to them, at least hearing them once and then making my decision. But, another example would be Green Day. I didn't really care for their newest album a lot, but I thought it was pretty good. Like, objectively. And then he said, they all have great back catalogs, and those songs mean the world to me. I'm happy with those and to find new up-and-coming bands that have the energy that older bands had back in the day. While I understand that, I do agree to a degree, but I think you should explore some of these bands that paved the way for you, their new material. Like, I feel like it's a strong word to use, but like kind of owe them that, man. Do with your time what you want, of course, but at least check them out, man. Dissolver says, wow, the Casualties are under a Hellcat now. I know, really. I'm excited for that. Which one are you talking about? Dissolver, a very good record of all time. Which one? All right, back to the list, folks. After the Casualties, we've got the Toy Dolls. They've also hinted at new material. While no formal announcement has been made, the band confirmed they took a break from live shows in 2025 to focus on writing and recording a new album. See, that is a band that I feel is like about at its age where I'm intrigued, but I don't have super high hopes, if that makes any sense. Not that I'm a giant. Um, oh, cool, nice. Yeah, I agree. I love that record label, man. Hellcat's an important record label to me. Um, the Toy Dolls would be one. You know what? No, I'm excited for all of these bands, dude. I'm gonna listen to all of it, and I've got hot takes on most of these artists. It's okay. After that, we got the Damned. The Damned will release not like everybody else. Excuse me, not like everybody else. Not exactly new songs, but a covers album dedicated to the memory of late guitarist Brian James, R.I.P. Brian James. Of course, obviously, right. The project serves as both a tribute and a celebration of the band's enduring legacy. I have recently become a fairly large fan of this band, so I'm actually pretty excited to see what songs they pick out. And of course, to celebrate the life of Brian James is pretty important. I'm not a expert on that band at all, so I'm not going to pretend to be. But it sucks to lose a family friend, or somebody that is family to those guys. You know what I'm saying? So, and then to anybody that was a longtime fan of the band, I'm sure that hurt pretty bad. So, it's kind of cool to see them doing something like this as a tribute. But I like cover albums; they're fun, especially at a band that's that diverse in sound and quality at what they do. Their skill level is unfuckwithable. They're very good at what they do. No Pressure. What is? I don't know if I know No Pressure. Let's look it up. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's a pop punk band formed by Parker Cannon, the vocalist of The Story So Far. That's why I don't know anything about them. Okay. So they've got a new album coming out this year. I know nothing about this band, but I do not like The Story So Far. It's just, they're not objectively bad or anything. I just don't care for them. But I'll say this. When this record comes out, I will check it out. Why wouldn't I, right? It makes sense to listen to a band that I don't know anything about and see if I dig it. Dude, even The Story So Far has got to have songs that I think are good. I just don't as a in totality, I don't listen to them, Ricky, what's up, G? Ricky says, been a minute since I caught a live. Can't wait for the new Social Distortion record. Yeah, man, I'm trying to do some live streams during the week a little earlier for people across the ocean, over in Europe and such. But it'll also have people with different schedules in the U.S. being able to catch a live stream every now and then. So I'm trying to do as much of this as I can to come and be a part of the community and actively participate as well and talk with you guys. I enjoy talking with everybody. And I appreciate all the support. Sincerely. Thank you. There's No Pressure's got me a little intrigued. Here's my hot take for the afternoon. Buzzcocks. Never thought they were a punk band. Whatever, though. Who cares what I think? A lot of people don't. Most people. They're set to release Attitude Adjustment on January 30th, adding another chapter to their influential catalog and reinforcing their continued presence in punk rock. So this is what I'll say about this. My opinion about them, who gives a crap? Where should I start with Buzzcocks? Their early material, I know a little bit about it. I didn't really care for it a whole lot. Didn't feel like a punk band to me. I've been told that I was very, very wrong about that. So if you don't mind, throw a few songs in the comments and I'll compile a list of all the most popular song suggestions, and I'll go in and listen to it again, and maybe I'll do a video on Buzzcocks, and that'll help me like them a little bit more. Once I learn a little bit about the history of bands, I tend to like them far more than just listening to some of their music, especially if it's music that it doesn't speak to me immediately. So let me know. That's a good band to put on my list. I have a list of bands. I just did one top 5 bands that I love but used to hate, and I think that I think I might have a number 2 video for that one coming, but I have definitely got all right, hold on, I can't type and talk, sorry about that. I definitely have at least 2 videos coming that are top 5 bands I don't like but kind of want to. That's going to probably get me roasted a lot, but it's okay. I don't mind getting roasted in the comments. People can say whatever they want. Oh, man, absolutely. Ricky says, that's awesome. I appreciate the effort. I assume about coming on during the day a little bit. Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate all you guys. This is cool. I can do this, so, Christmas says, I don't disagree with any of your response to my chat. No, that's cool. I didn't think you would be, super offended by it. I will more than likely listen to their new releases because you never know. That's kind of how I feel about it. Now, I don't have any, idea that they're going to drop, my favorite record of all time, now, if they're a band that's been around for 50, 40, 30 years. But they could drop some bangers, you know what I'm saying? If you can get, a record that's got, let's say it's 12 songs, and 10 of them are good, but 4 of them are amazing, I think that's a success, dude. I'll take that. 2 skips and then a handful of pretty good songs, and then 3 or 4 you could put on mixtapes and CDs and playlists, bro. That's what I'm talking about, boy. This is why I get so excited about new music, man. I love it. I'm a little tired today, but I'm in a pretty good mood. All right, finally we've got Streetlight Manifesto, dude. Let's go. What were they before they were Streetlight? They were another band. I can't remember the name of it. Was it Slapstick? Might have been. That might be wrong as well. But I like Streetlight Manifesto. They're like real fast. They're one of the few bands that sound like they sound that I feel like is a real deal ska band. Like when I think of Less Than Jake, I don't think of them as a ska band. I feel like they're like a pop punk band that's got horns, you know? Streetlight Manifesto's long-awaited The Place Behind the Stars is still expected to arrive this year. Originally announced for June 24th of 2025, then rescheduled for November 25th, the album missed both dates. However, the band released 3 songs new in 2025, keeping anticipation high for the full album's eventual release. With a mix of confirmed dates, studio updates, and long anticipated comebacks, 2026 promises to be a strong year for punk fans worldwide. I got to agree with that. I mean, I got at least 3 releases coming, and I'm very excited about all of them because they're all quality. I've heard most of the songs that are coming out, and I hope you guys will give my records a chance. I say my records under my label. They're not my band. I didn't write the songs. They're just bands I truly love. I wouldn't put time, energy, and most importantly, money behind bands that I didn't think were worth it. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be a big year for punk. So we've got another announcement. Boston ska punk veterans Big D and the Kids Table are set to release a new album, according to a recent announcement shared by the band on their social media channels. In the post, the band revealed that recording has officially wrapped, writing Big D and the Kids Table just finished recording their 11th album. While no additional details have been disclosed so far, the confirmation makes it clear that a new full-length release is on the horizon. Fans can expect more news to be announced soon, including further information about the album's release plans. Big D and the Kids Table is a band that I don't particularly care for much musically, but the people in the band are great, and they've got some songs that I like. But I would love to hear a new record by them, because like you said a minute ago, they probably got some bangers in there. So, and I don't remember what the reason was. I might need to go revisit them. When I say I don't necessarily like something, doesn't mean I actively dislike it either. If, like, the Story So Far be a band that I can say I dislike their music, right? Big D and the Kid Table is just one that I don't like jam all the time. So I don't know if I'm just saying things wrong and people are misunderstanding what I'm saying because I can't communicate any more than I tell my wife she can't communicate. Maybe I'm the one that can't communicate. Maybe I'm the dickhead. Who knows? Honestly, probably. But, yeah. That sounded way worse than it sounds when we're talking, to be honest. But anyways. Love you, sweetheart. She's like, yeah, shut your mouth. What's up, Megan? Catch 22. That's who it was. It wasn't Who'd Slapstick turn into? The Lawrence Arms, maybe? Bro, I can't keep up with all this crap. My man said, you tear me up. Buzzcocks, 1978, as punk as it gets, as if the year they came out means that they're a punk band. That's dumb. Nah, bro. They don't sound like a punk band to me at all. That's just my opinion, though. I don't look at Social Distortion and consider them a punk band either, even though I know for a fact their first 2, maybe 3 albums were straight-up punk albums. Just an opinion. Keysby Nights is named after a section of the town Catch-22 Streetlight Manifesto is from. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. What's up, Piker? Is it Pickris? I don't freaking know how to say your name, dude. What up, dude? Buzzcocks, I feel like they barely touched pop punk when at least the stuff that I've heard. But again, I'm not an expert on the band. I didn't care for most of what I heard, so maybe that's why I felt that way. I don't know. My opinions are just opinions. I certainly don't think that they're necessarily right. They're just an opinion. I'll argue with you about it, though. I love doing that shit. I love arguing people. I don't even know why. Pike is fine, he says. Good. I will just call you Pike. Here's one that I'm actually pretty excited about. Pop punk veterans MXPX. As I say, Buzzcocks are a punk band. I'm an idiot, bro. I personally think that MXPX's music speaks to me in a way within a punk rock definition that the stuff that Buzzcocks didn't, but they're so fucking similar. Like, I'm stupid, dude. What's my problem? Pop punk veterans MXPX are officially gearing up to release their 12th studio album, set to arrive this summer as the follow-up to their 2023 release, Find a Way Home. In my personal, humble opinion, Find a Way Home is like a top 2 or 3, maybe even best MXPX album. That album was fantastic. It was so good, bro. Mike Herrera, if you see this for some reason, would you please respond to my emails? I want to get Mike on the podcast so bad. I've been listening to that guy for almost as long as any other punk band I've ever listened to. The news was revealed by vocalist and bassist Mike Herrera during a recent band live stream. While addressing fans, Herrera confirmed the upcoming release, saying, "We got a new album coming out in the summer of 26. New MXPX album. That's right, we're working on new songs, bunch of different styles. Here's one of them," before debuting a brand new track titled Wreck My Day. At the moment, there's no official release date or album title, but an official announcement is expected to arrive soon. Heck yeah, bro. Heck yeah. Love me some exit to the M to the M to the X to the PX. Let's go. When I heard Buzzcocks, Slapstick, the singer is Brendan. Okay, so I kind of had it sort of right. And Dan from Alkaline Trio. Okay. So it took off, formed two bands, and then they came back together to do The Falcon. Let's go, dude. I want to get Dan on as well, and I'd like to talk to Brendan as well. But so here's my thing about the Buzzcocks. I've only heard maybe like 10 or 12 of their songs. I didn't really care for it a lot. It was just like whatever. It wasn't bad. I just was like, yeah, whatever. I just didn't love it, but I didn't feel like it felt very punk to me. Like it just didn't. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's my own shortcomings, my own insecurities. I don't know, but it's just what I felt, you know. Ricky says, "Casualties, The Damned, MXPX, Social Distortion, the Buzzcocks. I'm psyched for, but never listened to Big D or Streetlight Manifesto. Ooh, man. Then again, my knowledge of ska punk is the Boss Tones, Glow Skulls, and Choking Victim. Well, I would definitely replace some of that with Streetlight Manifesto. That band is A+, dude. If I did a ska punk tier list, they would be an A tier or even an S tier. And if I did like a top 10 like rankings list, they'd be up in the top 3. Streetlight Manifesto is amazing, and they're fantastic live. Dude, they are so good live. But yeah, man, we got a hell of a lot of stuff coming out this year, dude. Just from my label alone. We got a new Bullshit Detector LP coming. We got a new Poppers LP on the way. We got a split with Valhalla Cinema and Lonesome Haunts. If anybody doesn't know who those guys are, check out Valhalla Cinema. I posted a reaction to their new song yesterday on the channel, so it's already up there. Lonesome Haunts sounds like a mixture of the Gaslight Anthem and Lucero. So if you like that kind of stuff, check them out. Then we have Bullshit Detector, which is, you know, they're the U.S. representatives of Cold Oi, as far as I'm concerned. And then we have Poppers, which is like Dwarves meets like Dicks meets like, I don't freaking know, dude. Almost a Descendancy sound, kind of snotty, very pro-queer pop punk. It's awesome. Croc Rock Steady is not my jam. I used to like it when I was younger. I still like a lot of Choking Victim, but I don't know, man. That genre is not really for me. I recognize that it's very popular and has some great songs, but I think I kind of went from that and kind of got interested into folk punk more so than Croc Rock Steady. And even though they're very closely related, not in sound, just in like, you know, audience more or less. It's been a fun little stream. I'm having a good time. You guys having a good time? Which ones are you guys the most excited about? Let's see if we can find anything else. What else is going on here? Oh man, RIP TSOL, huh? We're covering Dance With Me on the stream with Nitty this week. You know, I've never heard that record. So I'm covering, okay, 3 records that I haven't heard before on the thing with Nitty. TSOL, Dance With Me, Necro's Conquest for Death, and Dick's Kill From the Heart. I've heard some of that Dick's record, but not the whole thing. Yeah, it'll be an interesting. Those are all requested by my boy Kevin. Why do people get so mad if you don't care for something, but you say very little about it? You're just like, yeah, not for me, or I don't think it's that good. And people love it. Why do they get so mad? Because if you guys told me that Rancid sucked, I would be like, cool. Like, I genuinely don't give a shit. Oh, man. Let's see here. Let's see. Sorry, one second. Let's see here. Yo, I just realized that I've got all 3 of my releases that are like in the queue for this year are all Texas releases. That makes me I'm very proud of that. Da 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 da. Boom boom. All right. Boom. Shared at 23. Okay, let's see here. What we got? Have I ever heard the Streetlight Manifesto album, 99 Songs Revolution? I want to say that I had it at the shop and listened to it. Let me double check. All right, let's see here. Oh, maybe I haven't. I'm gonna now. I'm definitely. Oh, that's Such Great Heights is on this. Wow. Me and Julio. Oh yeah. No, I haven't heard all this. I need to. Wow. That's great. Hell yeah. I will definitely check that out. Ricky says I'll make some notes. Looks like I have a lot to check out. Yeah. Yeah. You love TSOL like that, huh? I'm like kind of hit or miss with them. But I like to cover albums that I'm not familiar with. So whether I like it or not, don't know yet. So we will see very, very soon, though, right? What's the one band, if you could have them release an album this year, who would it be? Because mine is Doom Regulator. I want Doom Regulator to come out with their album already. That is the project with Tim Armstrong and Jesse Michaels. They had one song come out a couple years ago, and they were supposed to release an album in 25, and it didn't come out. But, yeah. Shout out Jesse Michaels. That guy was cool, man. He was very generous with his time. Yeah, I got to do some emails and hit some people up, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me for a little while. I will probably drop this video on the channel as just like a video so people can watch it that way if they want. But let me know in the comments, what is the band or album you're looking forward to the most? You have something that I didn't mention that you know is coming, or maybe a smaller band that I don't know about yet? Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to support some smaller artists if I get a chance to. And just stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff coming for the channel. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying my content. I'm working very hard, and I would appreciate the support. We're trying to hit 15K as soon as we can. My birthday's in March. It's like almost 2 months from today. It's like 2 months in a week, and I'd like to be at 15K by then if we could. So who knows? We'll figure it out. We'll see. But thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. All right. Love y'all. Peace.